I've been actually really looking forward to this conference because for most of you that don't know, even though I don't look like it, my background is actually software engineering and programming. I started off at Microsoft, I think back in 2000. I helped them build some of their data centers, worked at Hewlett-Packard. During the dot-com time, did a lot of web development, databases, SQL Server, Postgres, MongoDB, all of these things. So part of the big reason I put on this developer conference was I really believe that to become a better investor and hedge fund manager, I always like to keep very technical. Surprisingly, I still program every single day. My favorite language is Go, but I do a lot of work in JavaScript and Python, and because everything's written in Solidity, part of this conference is I want to spend a lot more time doing a lot more work with smart contracts. So an interesting opportunity came about, I think, 45 days ago. Actually, I was with Ollie. I think, were we in Greece? We were in Greece. Just taking a little bit of vacation. So there's a famous saying in finance that sell in May, go in May. So we took a little bit of vacation. We were out in Greece, and I'd been following this project called Tomb Finance, and it's a very interesting project because it's based on something called algorithmic stablecoins. But what the guys from Tomb Finance did was they based it on the price of Fantom. So today's talk is called Migrating Projects with Tomb Finance. And why I call it Migrating Project is I didn't start Tomb Finance. However, as most of you know, there was an exploit and a gatekeeper, which I'll talk a little bit about. So this session is going to be somewhat relatively technical and kind of how Tomb Finance actually works. Let's go right into it. So what is Tomb Finance? Tomb Finance is what you call an algorithmic-backed stablecoin. It's designed to be pegged to Fantom. That means one Tomb is equal to one Fantom. So now think about that for a second. Woo, yes, it is. So there's a project out there called Basis before, very well funded, but I think ultimately it failed. Now the reason it failed is because there's a lot of algorithmic stablecoins out there that are designed to like MakerDAO, DAI, they're focused on pegging, to like the US dollar or whatever currency it is. So what's really cool about Tomb Finance, though, is there's this, they do, it's kind of like a little mini central bank that runs on the currency blockchain. So Tomb has seigniorage, which means that the supply of Tomb can expand and contract. So there's this entire whole game theory thing around it. So in terms of user engagement for Tomb, I don't actually have the stats here, but I think today there's about 1.5 million to 2 million requests per day just on the Tomb.finance page. A lot of people. So just in terms of traffic, there's a lot of people that check out Tomb. So think about that for a little bit. Like one Tomb is equal to one Fantom. So why is that important? Well, if Fantom is 50 cents, then Tomb is 50 cents. But if Fantom is, what's the price right now? 340, 330, 330? Okay, it dropped. Tomb is also 330. However, because there's, is it 353? Are you kidding? Tomb pump! Okay. Okay. Wow, is it really? You're messing with me. There's no way it's 353. It was 330 when I was oh. Okay, anyways. So Tomb, because there's the expansion and contraction supply, it was kind of designed where if too much Tomb gets created, too much supply is created, people will be incentivized to sell. Strangely enough, though, that hasn't really been the case. There's been a huge demand for Tomb, more Tomb. I think there's only 15 or 16 million Tomb out there right now, but most of it is locked for staking. And I'm going to talk about some really good alpha that you guys have, and you guys will understand why I love the project so much, because it makes a lot of money. Okay, so there we go. So what is on Tomb Finance? There's 3 tokens on Tomb Finance, but you really only hear me talk about Tomb because the other 2, unless you read the docs, see 99%, and I know you're all out there, don't read the documentation. They're, Harry, oh, Harry, how do I do this on Tomb Finance? What's T-bonds? What's T-share? And I say, read the documentation. Go to docs.tomb.finance. People have spent a lot of time. This is a developer conference. So start developing by reading the documentation. You know who you are. Okay. So what is Tomb? So Tomb is, like I said, Tomb is the token that was designed as a smart contract to map to one Fantom. So one Tomb is equal to one Fantom. But depending on the game mechanics of kind of expansion, contraction, and supply of Tomb, through the issuance of things like T-bonds and the use of T-shares for voting, there's a lot of interesting stuff here, the price may go up or down below peg. So when you hear us talk about peg, it means one Fantom is equal to one Tomb and vice versa. Now T-shares, what's the price of T-share? Somebody give me the price of T-share. What is it? Last time I checked, was it what, 4,000? Wait, 4,051? Holy T-share. Okay, so T-shares were kind of designed. There's only about 65,000 T-shares out there. Only, I think, 19,000 or so have been minted. And the whole point of T-shares was this whole governance model with like what's called the Dow, which is the decentralized autonomous organization. So of course, when the project failed and everybody dumped their T-shares, I will go to that in a second. I accumulated a lot of T-shares. And then let's talk about T-bond. So what's T-bond? Well, in the traditional world, what are bonds? Bonds are a form of fixed income and debt. You buy a bond, somebody's going to, in the future, agree to pay you back whatever for your bond. So most of you guys, your parents probably have these things called GICs, investment certificates, things that pay an amazing like 0.5% every year if you're lucky. Is it 3%? I can't remember. So anyhow, the bond mechanism in Tomb is very, very unique because it allows you to remove supply of Tomb by burning it into a treasury. So there's a smart contract called T-bonds. So T-bonds, how they incentivize people to buy T-bonds on Tomb is when the price of Tomb is below peg, that means, let's just say one Tomb is equal to one Fantom. If somebody sells too much Tomb and it becomes like, okay, it costs like 1.05 Tomb to get one Fantom, then the treasury will start allowing people to purchase T-bonds. And if you can buy T-bonds, if you hold T-bonds above 1.1, you might get rewarded with more Tomb. So it incentivizes people to actually hold bonds kind of like in the real world. You know, the simplest thing is like, you know, war bonds, that kind of thing. So that's what Tomb Finance is. So why is Tomb Finance important to Fantom? One of the most brilliant things that the Fantom Foundation and the team designed was that, okay, first it's fixed supply, but two, all of you running validator nodes, you know who you are, including myself, I have 6-ish, maybe 2 more. If the price goes up and you want to sell, you can, but you're going to get a slashing penalty and you've got to wait 7 days. So 7 days in crypto is like a very, very long time, right? So it's a genius mechanism built in, but that also creates a problem because it's not very staked Fantom right now. You can't really borrow against it. There's not an effective mechanism out there yet. I think the Fantom team, smart contracts, some people working on it. So the Tomb Finance team came up with a way where, well, hey, let's try this model with an algorithmic-backed stablecoin, but instead of being pegged to the US dollar, we'll peg it to Fantom. And the goal of this project is to help kind of allow people to think that Tomb is Fantom, Fantom is Tomb. So that's why you're starting to see us help create Tomb pairs. So like I said, the long-term goal is you could just do like an atomic swap without any slippage or anything. And we have obviously like a 6 to 12 month plan for this. So the reason that Tomb Finance was created was really we want to be able to expand almost the supply of Fantom without expanding the supply of Fantom, but improving the liquidity of Fantom itself. So there's limited Fantom available, locked-in nodes. This is why Tomb Finance was created. Now, how does Tomb Finance work? That's it. Read the slide. Don't ask me. Go to the docs. Next. I'm kidding. Okay, so this is a really good picture. This is on docs.tomb.finance. So This infographic was brilliant. I have to hand it to the Tomb finance team because when I read their Twitter, there's also a Dow Fund, which I'll talk a little bit about later. So there's almost like an entire ecosystem of how a financial system works. This is why I love Tomb so much, because it's a microcosm within a microcosm. So cryptocurrency is a microcosm of finance. Tomb is a microcosm of a financial system inside, but it uses Fantom's blockchain. So I'll just summarize real quick here. Laser pointer, I get to use laser pointer, yay. Plug and play method, not plug and pray. First, so if one tomb does not equal to one peg, if one tomb does not peg to one Fantom, it's under, you buy Tomb, so you can either exchange Tomb for T-bonds, there's a liquidity pair, and when Tomb goes over peg, you can swap T-bond for Tomb. If you make profit, yay. So see that, they're smart, that's good marketing, profit. Then you sell Tomb under peg. Before, this doesn't exist anymore because there used to be this thing called the gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper would charge you a tax. However, I'm Chinese and from Hong Kong, I don't like paying taxes. So first thing I did when I took over Tomb Finance was I removed the gatekeeper and I said no taxes. There's no taxes here in the UAE too, so why tax Tomb, right? Just didn't make sense to me. So anyways, now let's talk about what happens when Tomb goes over peg. Okay, if people are buying too much Tomb, okay, you can provide, Tomb Fantom, earn T-shares. Haha, that's right, there's your alpha. Compound earnings above T-share Fantom and earn more T-shares. And stake T-share in the masonry to earn more Tomb. That's right, so if you buy T-shares, you get more Tomb. But if you stake Tomb with Fantom, you get more T-shares. Okay, there you go. Saving Tomb finance. Oh, it's 6 minutes. I'm going to need more time. I don't care. I paid for this conference. I'm taking all the time I want. You got to watch me talk. I'm going to talk. Heady pump. Okay, soon. When moon. So you're allowed to ask me about the price. Okay, so saving Tomb finance. You like that? That's a little heart emoji. By the way, I put this. It took me 4 hours to make this slide for this conference 8 a.m. this morning. Oh. So why? Well, duh, it's a lot of fun and it makes a lot of money. That's why I do it. But besides the money-making part, the community and what I've learned, just having an opportunity, even when I looked at the project from day one, I was like, okay, I want to get as much T-shares as possible because this thing is just a lot of fun. And Ali, every day, every 6 hours, we're waiting for the Tomb to show up, and then we would claim the rewards, swap it for Fantom, then, stake, get more T-shares. It's the most engagement of any D app I've seen. The user engagement, once you're a Tomb head, that's what we call you, you stay in. So why did I have to save it? Well, the gatekeeper exploit. So everybody that was in Tomb, this, little skull and crying emoji, you thought this thing was going to die, and then I was like, okay, you know what? Tomb almost went to 0. At the low, it went to 4 cents USD. And hey, Ali, thank you for being there. Ali's like the general. He says, Harry, I go to war with you. So he did. So why did I save Tomb? Because it's amazing yields. But I love the project so much that I had to save it. I didn't want it to die. And someone in the project said something very funny, something that's already dead cannot die. I don't know what that means, but it's alive now. So let's talk about Tomb. So I took this screenshot for Tomb just so you guys get a little bit of idea. It earns just a measly 380% a year if you stake T-shares. And the price of Tomb right now, actually the price of Tomb is higher than Fantom. Can you believe that? Okay. So T-shares. So T-shares right now, if you earn your T-shares by using T-share Fantom or Tomb Fantom, this is your return, 356% and 245%. It's important to kind of show you guys the metrics. This is why people love Tomb. I mean, aside from the fact that the design of the project is great, it's just the yield returns on this thing. It's I've made more money on Tomb. I actually believe I'll make more money on Tomb than I will with Fantom. So this is the T-bond mechanism, like I said. So I don't have any T-bonds here, but if Toom is over peg, you can buy T-bonds. If Toom is below peg, you can buy T-bonds. If Toom is over a T-bond, you can actually redeem it and get Toom. This is what it looked like in September, was it 5th or 7th? I can't remember. 7th. So imagine, every day you wake up, you're getting this. We get our Toom, we're happy. One day I didn't look, I'm like, shit, this thing's down 40%. And then it just kept dropping, and I'm like, interesting. Like this thing is like, and then I was like, okay, this project, they're gonna try to fix it. But then the developers wrote a Medium article and said, you know what, they're gonna bail on the project. So for me, I felt, first off, I love the project. I loved it too much. And I was like, maybe I can save it, maybe, because I just want to keep pressing the button like every single day, like 4 hours a day. Maybe at some point somebody can build me an auto compounder here so that I don't have to keep pressing. So that's why I felt the need to save it. But more importantly, I wasn't really thinking for myself. I was thinking for all the people that the exploit hurt. For the gatekeeper, there's a lot of bad actors. So for me, the really saving it was something I wanted to do for the community. But also an interesting opportunity for me to take over a DeFi project because I run 2 hedge funds and I don't really have any business running a DeFi project. However, my background's engineering and software, and for me, I really enjoyed the experience of taking over the Toom project because it brought me back to my roots as a programmer and engineer. And just coincidentally enough, it's here at the Fantom Developer Conference I get to share my experiences with you so that I want you guys to learn from the mistakes that happened with the Toom project, but also I think it's important that sometimes when things go wrong, you start to see, okay, do you double down? Do you try to fix the problem and make things better? Human nature, it's always easier just to run away when there's a problem. So I think the big lesson for me and for everybody with Toom Finance is there's a strong community in Fantom. If you have a problem, something happens, if there's an exploit, anything else, don't run away, because at the end of the day, it's just money. Money comes and goes, but your reputation, integrity, and everything else is the most important. So that's why I wanted to save this project, because I looked at the community, and the number one reason I wanted, to be involved in this project is the community. So that's Toom. That was T-Share. Yep, this is priced against Fantom. And you'll see there's Just, Zoo. Hey, those are like good things. I just kind of put them there just so you see them. Yoshi, T-Share, Toom, Zoo, Just. In case, okay, I'll run that again. Just, Zoo, Toom, T-Share, and Yoshi. This is on ZooCoin, by the way. This is their trading dashboard. By the way, shout out to the Zoo guys. They built like the 1 inch of Fantom and like an OpenSea. One of the best, smartest developers I know. Thank you guys for building this. Really good to have like good trading tools and data insight for Fantom. Okay, so saving Toom Finance. Where are we today? Well, here's some of the numbers. Toom itself has a $61 million market cap, and it's growing. T-shares, $245 million it's worth now. T-bonds, about 10 million. So me saving the project created now the market cap of all the tokens is over 300 million in less than like 45 days. So I think that's a pretty good achievement, but I have other friends that have done better. Toom Labs is an entity that I've created a company that's designed specifically to help continue the development and intellectual property rights and everything, smart contract development, legal, whatever, for Toom. So let's talk about our TVL. Look at that. Boom, 160 million. Not bad. And the price is probably higher now. I took the snapshot this morning. Yeah, time's up, I don't care. The Dow Fund. I want to talk about the Dow Fund. This is a really important part of Toom Finance. So the developers created this thing called the Dow Fund, which means Decentralized Autonomous Fund. And this fund is designed to take the impact of Toom when people keep selling it. So, I mean, in full disclosure, when we were playing with the project, there's a lot of selling pressure on Toom. So there wasn't enough utility for Tomb, but thanks to this, the Spirit Swap guys, Spooky Swap guys, Zoo, everybody, Robo Vault, who else? Reaper and Grim, all you guys are everybody, the ecosystem supporting Tomb, giving Tomb utility so that you can stake Tomb and earn other rewards. So the Dow Fund was designed to keep one Tomb equal to one Fantom. So Tomb Finance is now professionally managed by a hedge fund management team, like Quantum FinTech Group. So pretty much like my team runs Tomb Finance on the quantitative side. So the community, just want to really, really stress this as developers, your most important asset, not just your source code, it's the community, it's people. This is why we have this conference. It's all about people. So people are your biggest advocates. Look after them, and they'll look after you. So to me, the most valuable asset, 100% is the community for Tomb. And I'm part of that community too. So every single person here, whatever project you create here, the one big lesson, focus on your community. Don't focus on price and building hype. Focus on communicating with the community regularly, updating them, at least once a week, or have a team that does it. So we spend a lot of money updating people on Tomb Finance. Resources on Tomb. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about Tomb, like I said, read the documentation. There it is. Okay, and then there's a good little YouTube video for those of you that don't like reading. And the resources, we're still updating. The future. So what's the future for Tomb Finance? What am I going to do for it? Well, this project definitely qualifies for the TVL. So whatever Fantom we do get from developer incentive, we'll use that for validator nodes to create more to get more Fantom and build up like a nice treasury so that we can reinvest this treasury, keep the price of Tomb equivalent to PEG. So the goal really, really is to keep one Tomb equal to one Fantom, maybe two Fantom, I don't know. I'm just saying, it could be. And then one t-shirt equals one Wi-Fi. Like, when I tell people this, I just wanted them to have a reference point of kind of what Wi-Fi does, because Wi-Fi is in the yield farming space, and Tomb is kind of almost it does something similar, not exactly yield farming. So very, very soon, the price might be equivalent. It's 40,000, I think. Is it 40,000? Check on your phone. I don't have my phone. Why are you asking me? It's 40,000, so I think, a bit higher. So, and then I just want to give you a little bit about, Quantum FinTech Group, really quick slide. We're a hedge fund, 5 and 45, 5% management fee, 45% carry, 90-day redemption lockup period, $25 million minimum investment. Then you can join. Q&A, Mo told me not to put that in, so I'm just skipping it. And then this is my contact. You can follow me on Twitter. You want to learn more about Tomb, send info at Tomb Labs, and then info at Quantum FTG. That's it. Thank you.